welcome back to my channel. I'm so sorry if you end up hearing anything in the background. Everybody is home today, and normally I really do try and wait until people are not here, but that's not gonna happen today. I want to do a pros and cons on being an esthetician. That way, if you guys or anybody out there was kind of interested in becoming an esthetician, they would kind of have an idea of what to expect, things that you can look out for, because it is a profession where there's a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of different things depending on state to state. If you're interested, just keep watching. Let's start with the pros. First pro is that the schooling is relatively short. It was 6 months, or until you acquire 750 hours. So that's basically 9 to 5, I believe 5 days a week for 6 months. After that, then you're able to take the test whenever your state has the board testing. That way, if you get an 80% or more, then you get your license. However, a lot of schools do offer part-time options, and if you do part-time, then of course it's only 4 hours a day as opposed to 8 hours, so then it takes you up to a year, or until you get the acquired hours for your state. Another pro is that if you're interested in anything in the medical field, you are able to grow into a more medical position without having to do much additional training. I'm also a laser technician, so I was able to take an additional class that was more of an advanced education, and I was able to get my license to be able to work IPL machines, work laser hair removal machines. There are a lot of plastic surgeons, dermatologists, doctors like that actually have estheticians in their office, so you don't have to go through all this schooling even if you are interested in being in a medical setting. Something big that I find a pro anyways is that you can actually boost people's confidence. So since you're an esthetician and you are dealing with helping people treat their skin, a lot of people that do suffer from acne or having a lot of facial hair, maybe they're self-conscious about it, or anything that bothers them, you're actually able to help fix it. You can see dramatic results, especially if you are able to become a laser technician. You can get a little bit more dramatic results, and people start feeling better about themselves, and that makes you feel better in the end. Ooh, also the tips, guys. Tips are really great. So since I actually work at a med spa, it's kind of in between. So we do medical procedures, but then we also do things that are a little bit more aligned with a normal spa, like facials and waxing. So for a lot of those kind of services, you get tips for things. If I'm doing a laser hair removal on the leg, somebody can leave a tip, but it's a lot more rare for somebody to do that. If you do want to work in a salon or a spa, a more traditional setting like that, tips are highly encouraged. People kind of already know that, and so there's been days that I worked an 8-hour shift and I was going home with $120 in tips, and that's cash, and that's so nice that at the end of the day you have a little bit of extra money. Another pro is that you get discounts at beauty supply stores. So a store such as CosPro, which only allows you to buy things if you have a license, or Sally's Beauty Salon. Even if you are an esthetician, you can get hair dye, things like that, that other cosmetologists can also get at a discounted price. Also, you're able to go to these awesome beauty expo shows. So once again, they kind of put them together. They put which is cosmetology, and they put aesthetics together. So a lot of the times, if you're there for like aesthetics purposes and you're like taking maybe some classes or getting a steamer or something like that, you can also head over to the cos side and get shampoos really cheap, get high-end brands for just at cost, and it's really awesome. So this is kind of a middle section. It's pros slash cons. If you are going to be working in a setting that is a salon or a spa, most of them are commission based. They're not salary based. Since they're commission based, the positive is that you can have a huge growth. Your checks can be amazing if you have a very busy day, and you can make so much money. The negative, however, with that is that if you're commission based, all your money is dependent on having clients. If I'm new to a spa, I don't have that many clients. I haven't built my clientele up yet. So your first few checks for, I would say, a good month to 2 or 3 months might be kind of slow and really low. Another pro slash con is that every odd year you have to renew your license. So the pro is that you have to take continuing education classes, which are great because things in the beauty industry are always changing. So you need to stay on top of trends, whether it's different ingredients, new machines that are coming out. So that's a pro. The con is that if there is an expo or continuing education classes, you might have to take off of work. Your job might not pay for your continuing education, so now you have to pay for those classes in order to get your hours. Before the deadline, you have to pay the state, I believe it's $30, and show proof of your continuing education. Also guys, let me tell you, because I didn't know this and I end up spending so much money, say you get your license and you're a fresh new esthetician, the first time you do not have to renew your license. I took classes, I got my 10 CEs, come to find out that since it was my first time having to renew my license, I didn't have to do it. So don't waste your money. My teacher didn't tell me, the state definitely didn't tell me, because they were able to take, you know, my money and stuff. All you have to do is still pay the state your $30 fee, but you don't have to show proof of continuing education. Alright, so let's get to the cons, which is with every job. So one con, at least that I have found out because I worked in a more medical setting, is that it's hard to get a medical job. Luckily live close to Chicago, which has a lot more opportunities than, you know, trying to find a job in the suburbs or a smaller town. However, it still took me about a year and a half to find a medical job where I was able to work as a licensed laser technician and be able to do more medical things. Even though Chicago is a lot bigger, there was still times where they're like, oh, we already have an esthetician, or we already have 2 estheticians, or oh, the doctor's not interested. And you know, you have to hear that a lot. These are also jobs that you're not going to just be able to go on Indeed.com or Monster.com. That doesn't happen very often. It's one of those jobs where you kind of have to just go in, send your resume, call the, you know, doctor's office, send your resume to the manager, go in person, hand in your resume, because a lot of those kind of jobs aren't going to just pop up and then you apply to them. It's not like retail where they let you know, hey, we need cashiers. Another con is that if you want to work in another state, so I live in Illinois, if I want to work in another state such as Wisconsin, say I'm moving there, I have to check to make sure that I can actually go there to work. Some states say that they have more requirements than your state does. They might make you take a test over again. So you might still have to bring a model, show them that you know how to wax, take a written test, and still pass that, and then also have to still pay a fee to get your license. However, sometimes, say your state, like our state in Illinois, we require 750 hours, and I was contemplating going to California. So I looked up California state boards and what they require for their estheticians, and they said that if you're from Illinois, they would allow you to get endorsed. Endorsement means that you can just show them proof that your license is in good standing, that you haven't been charged with anything wrongdoing with your license, and then you just show them proof and you send them a fee, and then you're able to get your license without having to do any additional testing. Another con is that not every state allows estheticians to do the same thing. So here in Illinois, like I said, I can do skincare as well as laser work as long as you have your laser tech license. However, there are some states that you are not allowed to use an IPL machine, a laser hair removal machine. You're not allowed to dermaplane or microneedle. You're not allowed to do any of that as an esthetician. So if I'm from Illinois and I'm used to having the salary that, you know, doing laser work brings in, that doing microneedling brings in, and then I move to a different state and they don't allow me to do any of those treatments, then all of a sudden my pay might be a lot different. Also, personally, I like the medical side of being an esthetician, and I like doing those treatments a lot more than waxing and facials. That's my preference. So if I moved to a state where I wasn't allowed to do any laser work, I would probably just try and find a different job. And the last thing, which you'll actually find whether you're working in a salon, spa, med spa, or a doctor's office, actually, is you're competing with discounted services from other places. You guys know that you can go and buy very cheap services, you know, using certain apps and different websites, and actually lower what you're making, even though you might be offering very quality services. As you guys know, I'm sure you see that everybody's looking for the fastest and the cheapest thing. So if you are working as a professional and you know that you have quality machines at your location and you know that you have been licensed and you do quality work, it's hard for you to charge higher rates when you know that the spa down the street is running a special at half the cost. Even if you know that your services are better, the general public doesn't know that, and they're going to go to that cheaper place. It's very important to know to value your services. The place that I work at, we do have higher prices and we still have a very strong clientele, and I do make very good money for what I do. You know, you just have to stick with your guns and know that what you're offering is a quality service. What you're doing offers an experience, that you know that you are very knowledgeable as a person, and to not discount your things to the point where you're barely making any money. Alright guys, that's it for me. I hope you guys like this video, especially, you know, if you want to be an esthetician. Gives you a little bit of an idea of what you would have to do. Of course, if you have any other questions about being an esthetician that maybe I didn't address in this video, you can always send me a message or leave something in the comments and I will get back to you. Thanks you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. Bye!